Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Anuja Kumar and with me is Rupinder Kaur Chawla with the Midday News. The headlines. ICMR study finds indigenous COVID-19 vaccine, Covaxin, to be effective against the double mutant strain of coronavirus. Country registers over 2,95,000 new cases of COVID-19. Over 1,67,000 people recover in last 24 hours. Over 13 crore vaccine doses administered in the country so far. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says pharma sector is working relentlessly on COVID-19 vaccine. Assam and Uttar Pradesh governments to provide free vaccines to all from the age of 18 to 45 years. Madhya Pradesh government extends curfew till 30th of April to break the chain of COVID-19 infection. All Air India flights between India and UK to remain cancelled from 24th April to 30th of April. Civil Services Day being observed today. Ram Navami being celebrated across the country today. President, Vice President and Prime Minister greet people on the occasion. And in IPL cricket, Punjab Kings to take on Sunrisers Hyderabad and Kolkata Knight Riders to clash with Chennai Super Kings today. As the number of COVID cases is on the rise again, we appeal to our listeners not to lower the guard, take all the precautions, and all those above 45 years to get vaccinated without any hesitation. Stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now, the news in detail. An Indian Council of Medical Research ICMR study has found the indigenous coronavirus vaccine Covaxin to be effective against the double mutant strain of the virus. It has recently been successful in isolating and culturing the double mutant strain of SARS-CoV-2 identified in certain regions of India and several other countries. ICMR National Institute of Virology has demonstrated the neutralization potential of Covaxin against the UK variant and the Brazil variant. It said Covaxin has been found to effectively neutralize the double mutant strain as well. The country has achieved a remarkable feat in its vaccination drive. India has become the fastest country to administer over 13 crore doses of COVID-19 vaccines to its citizens. The Health and Family Welfare Ministry has informed today around 30 lakh vaccine doses were administered to the beneficiaries in the last 24 hours. However, the pandemic is continuously breaking the records of fresh cases and deaths. The rapid rise in the cases of COVID-19 has increased the active caseloads in the several states and union territories. As a result, the recovery rate is continuously declining in the country. The Health Ministry said a record number of over 2,95,000 new cases have been reported in the country within 24 hours. This is the highest number of new cases registered in a single day since the outbreak of the pandemic in the country. With this, cumulative positive cases crossed 1 crore 56 lakh mark. The ministry has said there are over 21,57,000 active cases in the country at present, which comprises 13.81% of the total positive cases. The country has also registered the highest number of deaths in a single day. A total of 2,023 deaths have been reported in the country within 24 hours, taking the toll to over 1,82,000 across the country. Amid the rising new cases, the recovery rate has further declined to 85%. The ministry informed that more than 1,67,000 people have recovered from coronavirus infection in the last 24 hours. So far, more than 1 crore 32 lakh patients have already been recovered from this infectious disease in the country.
Government today said that more than 76% of new COVID-19 cases are being reported from 10 states. These states are Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Delhi, Karnataka, Kerala, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat and Rajasthan. Union Health Ministry has said Maharashtra has reported the highest daily new cases at 62,097. It is followed by Uttar Pradesh with 29,574, while Delhi reported 28,395 new cases. The 5 states of Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka and Kerala cumulatively account for over 60% of India's total active cases. The ministry said 10 states account for over 82% of the new deaths. Maharashtra saw the maximum casualties of 519 and Delhi had 277 daily deaths. The cumulative COVID-19 testing has crossed 27 crore mark in the country today. The Indian Council of Medical Research has said that various laboratories have conducted more than 27 crore 10 lakh tests of coronavirus samples in the country so far. During the last 24 hours, more than 16 lakh 39,000 tests have been conducted. Starting from just one testing lab at National Institute of Virology, Pune in January last year, the country today has 2,471 labs for testing COVID samples. This includes 1,233 government and 1,238 private labs.
Serum Institute of India has announced the price of its Covishield vaccine for state governments and private hospitals in the country. The vaccine will cost 400 rupees per dose for the state governments, whereas private hospitals will have to pay 600 rupees for each dose. The announcement by the manufacturer of the Covishield vaccine in India comes in light of the recent relaxation given by the centre to accelerate the vaccination drive in the country. Under the new provisions, the vaccine manufacturers and suppliers will be selling 50% of their COVID vaccines to the centre, whereas the remaining 50% will be given to the state governments and private hospitals in open market. The Serum Institute, in a statement released today, said that the new directive will help in scaling up the production of vaccines and will also ease its procurement by the state administrations, private hospitals and vaccination centres. The Prime Minister said the demand for oxygen has increased in many parts of the country and the centre and the state governments along with the private sector are trying to make oxygen available to all those who are in need. He was addressing the nation on COVID situation last night. The Prime Minister asked the state governments to urge the workers to stay where they are. He said this trust given by the states to the migrant workers will help them. The Prime Minister lauded doctors, paramedical staff, sanitation workers, police and healthcare workers for their commitments. He said in some cities, large dedicated COVID-19 hospitals are being built. He added that the country with 2 made-in-India vaccines started the world's largest vaccination program. The Prime Minister said all above the age of 18 years will be vaccinated from the 1st of next month. He said the pharma sector is working relentlessly to meet all COVID-19 challenges, including on vaccine development, usage of right medicines. The Prime Minister said the steps that the government has taken in the past few days will be certainly helping in the current COVID-19 situation.
जैसे ही कोरोना के केस बढ़े, देश के फार्मा सेक्टर ने दवाइयों का उत्पादन और बढ़ा दिया है. आज जनवरी-फरवरी की तुलना में देश में कई गुना ज्यादा दवाइयों का प्रोडक्शन हो रहा है. इसे अभी और तेज किया जा रहा है. मेरी देश की फार्मा इंडस्ट्री के जो प्रमुख लोग हैं, उसके जो एक्सपर्ट लोग हैं, उनसे बहुत लंबी चर्चा हुई है. प्रोडक्शन बढ़ाने के लिए हर तरीके से दवाई कंपनियां की मदद ली जा रही है.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has asserted that the country has to overcome the second wave of COVID-19 through resolve, courage and preparation and urged the states to consider lockdowns only as the last resort. He said the focus should be on micro-containment zones.
HLL Lifecare Limited will procure nearly 50,000 metric ton of imported medical oxygen for distribution to various central and state government hospitals in the country. The healthcare product manufacturing company working under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, HLL Lifecare, floated a global tender on 16th of this month asking for supply of medical grade oxygen at the earliest. The tender will be closed for bidding on next Wednesday. Centre has been taking all necessary steps to ensure incessant supply of medical oxygen in the country amid the spike in COVID cases. The Assam government has decided to give free vaccines to all from 18 to 45 years. Health Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma said that the centre is giving free vaccines to people above 45 years. He said that funds collected under Assam Arogya Nidhi last year will be utilized to procure vaccines. He said that the Health Department placed order yesterday to buy 1 crore doses. Our correspondent reports that Assam recorded 1,651 cases during the last 24 hours, while 3 persons succumbed to COVID-19. Kamrup Metro District has registered highest 742 cases in this period.
The Assam government issued SOP yesterday to contain spike of COVID-19 for those districts which have minimum 100 active cases. As per the guidelines, all marketplaces, shops, supermarkets and weekly market to be closed by 6 p.m. The Assam government encourages working from home and virtual mode. On the other hand, 50% students should attend in person on a day in educational institutes. Public transport to be operated with 50% capacities. The order also restricted the number of guests in private functions, including marriages, to 100. Chief Secretary Jishnu Barua said the situation in Assam is not so alarming, but appealed all to follow the guidelines. Manas Pratim Sharma, AR News, Guwahati.
Uttar Pradesh government has decided to administer COVID vaccine free of cost to all those above 18 years of age from 1st of May. The decision was taken at cabinet meeting chaired by Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath yesterday. The cabinet also thanked Prime Minister Narendra Modi for opening up vaccination for all above 18 years of age. The statement issued after cabinet meeting said that the state government will take forward the vaccination program with its own resources. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath said that the PM's decision will help in better management of COVID-19 and massive vaccination will help in defeating the virus.
In Madhya Pradesh, the curfew has been extended till the 30th of April to break the chain of corona infection. Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan, while addressing the core group meeting on corona yesterday, said that effective implementation of Janta curfew is necessary in every city, street locality and village. The government has also issued new guidelines yesterday regarding prevention of coronavirus infection. 12,727 new cases of corona have been reported in the state in last 24 hours, while 77 people have died due to infection. A report.
The total number of infected in Madhya Pradesh has gone up to 4,33,704. Now the active cases of corona have increased to 78,271. According to Health Department, 1,753 new patients have been reported in Indore and 1,694 in Bhopal. Corona cases were reported in all the districts of the state. So far, 3,50,720 patients have reached their homes after beating corona in the state. Of these, 8,937 patients have recovered in the past 24 hours. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
In Chhattisgarh, 15,625 new COVID-positive patients have been identified in last 24 hours. With this, the total number of COVID-19 cases in Chhattisgarh mounted to 5,74,299. Currently, 1,25,688 people are being treated in hospitals or are in home isolation. According to the data given by the state government, 181 people died due to corona infection during last 24 hours. The entire state is in lockdown, with every district administration deciding the duration of the lockdown in their district. We have more from our Raipur correspondent.
The Chhattisgarh High Court has decided to suspend normal functioning till the period of lockdown. The Chief Justice has directed that only the most important cases will be heard during the lockdown. Meanwhile, the state government has instructed district collectors to allow home delivery from grocery stores to ensure supply of food items to the people during lockdown. Grocery shoppers will only be able to make home delivery to people by taking orders over the phone. If a shopkeeper is found opening his shop and selling goods directly to the customer, then strict action will be taken against him. Vikalp Shukla, AIR News, Raipur.
In Maharashtra, various districts are taking the vaccination program on war footing as an effective way to fight the COVID-19. One of the examples is of Kankhavali Panchayat Samiti in Sindhudurg district of Maharashtra, where the chairman of the Samiti has come forward to create awareness for vaccine through a campaign, Start the Chain of Vaccination. More from our correspondent.
Chairman of Kankavali Panchayat Samiti, Manoj Ravrane said, while the state government has started the initiative Break the Chain to restrict the spread of coronavirus in the state, the Panchayat Samiti of Kankavali has come up with a campaign, Start the Chain of Vaccination, to boost the vaccination drive. He said, under the initiative Start the Chain, each people who has been vaccinated will spread the importance of vaccination and bring 10 other people for getting vaccinated. Ravrane said, besides the vaccinated people, government officials, teachers, village elders, Panchayati Samiti officials, Sarpanch, among others, will also go door to door to convince people to get vaccinated at the earliest. Meanwhile, more than 275,000 vaccination doses were administered in the state in last 24 hours, taking the total number of doses administered till date to more than 1,29,55,000. With Nilesh Joshi, Devapriya Bhattacharjee, AIR News, Mumbai.
In Akola district of Maharashtra, administration has imposed a fine of 50,000 rupees each on 6 COVID hospitals for violating COVID guidelines and rules. The inquiry committee found irregularities like delay in RT-PCR and rapid antigen tests, delay in issuing test reports, non-reporting of COVID-positive reports to the administration, etc. The inquiry committee also found a case of overcharging. City Hospital, Aadhar, Harmony, Shri Ganesh, Bhishe Hospital and Bihade Hospital are the 6 hospitals who have violated COVID guidelines.
Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani has said that there is no need to impose lockdown in the state. Talking to media yesterday, he said that many restrictions like night curfew in 20 cities, closing of all educational institutions, malls, theatres, gyms, parks are in force at present. Our correspondent reports that Chief Minister Vijay Rupani was today administered the first dose of vaccine and appealed to the people to come forward for vaccination in large numbers.
Gujarat High Court has asked the EMRI 108 ambulance service to attend critical patients first. During a hearing on a suo motu PIL on COVID-19 yesterday, the bench of Chief Justice Vikram Nath and Justice Bhargav Karia told the government to verify the new centralized system for attending the patients. The bench said that if the seriousness of a patient is not taken into consideration, it is not serving the purpose. Earlier, the court had also taken up this issue of long waiting periods of ambulances outside the hospitals. Meanwhile, the Ahmedabad Hospitals and Nursing Home Association has urged the Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation to ensure the steady supply of medicines and oxygen for COVID patients. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. ICMR study finds indigenous COVID-19 vaccine, Covaxin, to be effective against the double mutant strain of the coronavirus. Country registers over 2,95,000 new cases of COVID-19. Over 1,67,000 people recover in the last 24 hours. Over 13 crore vaccine doses administered in the country so far. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says pharma sector is working relentlessly on COVID-19 vaccine. Assam and Uttar Pradesh governments to provide free vaccines to all from the age of 18 to 45 years. Madhya Pradesh government extends curfew till April 30th to break the chain of COVID-19 infection. All Air India flights between India and UK to remain cancelled from 24th April to 30th of April. Civil Services Day being observed today. Ram Navami being celebrated across the country today. President, Vice President and Prime Minister greet people on the occasion. And in IPL cricket, Punjab Kings to take on Sunrisers Hyderabad and Kolkata Knight Riders to clash with Chennai Super Kings today. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the Midday News on All India Radio. As COVID cases continue to surge, lockdown has been declared in all containment zones in the Ernakulam district in Kerala by the district administration. This will be implemented from today at 6 p.m. for 7 days. Complete lockdown is declared in 113 civic body wards, including 3 panchayats in Ernakulam district. It has imposed restrictions in organizing marriages and funerals in the containment zones. The administration said only 20 people will be allowed to attend the marriages. Gatherings for the funeral will be restricted to 10. Tough measures to contain the spread of virus was taken on a day Ernakulam district recorded a highest spike of 3,212 fresh COVID-19 cases yesterday. Kerala recorded its highest single-day spike of 19,577 fresh COVID-19 cases yesterday, taking the total active cases to 1.18 lakh. Telangana reported 6,542 fresh COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours. According to the state COVID bulletin, 20 more persons succumbed to COVID-19 and other comorbidities, taking the death toll in the state to 1,876. More from our correspondent.
In the biggest daily spike, Telangana reported over 6,500 fresh COVID cases, while night curfew came into force since last evening. Most of the 33 districts in the state have shown quantum jump in the daily reported cases to over 100. Police have witnessed hard time last night, creating awareness among people about the enforcement of night curfew. Meanwhile, the Cinema Theatres Owners Association has decided to stop screenings after the government imposes restrictions in the wake of COVID second wave across the state. The state has currently over 46,000 active cases. The recovery rate in the state has further dipped to 86.85% from over 98% a month ago. Meanwhile, over 32,68,000 people have been vaccinated so far. Lakshmi, AR News, Hyderabad.
Odisha government has cancelled the matriculation board exam in view of COVID-19 upsurge in the state. The exam was to be conducted by the Board of Secondary Education during the first week of May. Similarly, all exams under the Odisha State Board of Madrasa Education have also been cancelled. The board exam for class 12 that had been postponed will, however, be conducted by the Council of Higher Secondary Education as and when the pandemic situation improves. In view of the recent spike in COVID-19 cases, Andaman and Nicobar administration has decided to suspend tourist activities in the islands. Light and sound show at Cellular Jail and Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Island will remain suspended for 4 weeks from tomorrow. Water sports activities, beaches and other such activities will also be suspended for 1 month from tomorrow. Cinema halls will also remain closed.
Air India has informed that due to recent restrictions announced by the United Kingdom, all flights between India and UK will remain cancelled from Saturday till the end of this month. It added that further updates regarding rescheduling, refunds and waivers will be informed in meantime. However, Air India said that it is working to schedule once-a-week flight to UK from Delhi and Mumbai during the interval of this restriction. The national carrier has said that flights scheduled from Delhi and Mumbai to UK after the restriction period is over would also be announced in due course through its public portals and various other media platforms. Japan's Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga has postponed his India visit in the light of resurgence of COVID-19 cases. Japanese Prime Minister was scheduled to visit India later this month. Both India and Japan have also decided to postpone their foreign and defense ministerial talks, which was scheduled for this weekend in Tokyo due to a rapid increase in coronavirus cases in both the countries. Japan has recently reported fresh spike in number of coronavirus cases, especially in cities like Tokyo and Osaka.
West Bengal is entering the crucial sixth phase as voting in 180 out of 294 assembly seats has already concluded in the last 5 rounds. The sixth phase of West Bengal election will be held in 43 assembly segments tomorrow in 10,897 polling booths. The polling will be held in the 4 districts of Uttar Dinajpur, Nadia, North 24 Parganas and Purbo Bardhaman. There are 306 candidates in fray. The Election Commission has reduced the campaign period 72 hours before the poll date due to rising cases of COVID-19 cases in the state. Noted Bengali poet Shankar Ghosh passed away this morning in Kolkata. He was 89. Prolific poet and critic Shankar Ghosh had been tested positive with COVID-19 recently and was in home isolation. Widely considered to be an authority on Rabindranath Tagore, Shankar Ghosh got many accolades including Gyanpith, Rabindra Puraskar and Sahitya Academy Awards for his literary works and had been conferred Padma Bhushan. The entire literary fraternity is mourning his death.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed condolences on the demise of Bangla poet and literati Shankar Ghosh. He said Mr. Ghosh, whose works are widely read and admired, will always be remembered for his contributions to Bengali and Indian literature. Today is Civil Services Day. Every year, the day is observed by all civil services to rededicate and recommit themselves to the cause of the people. President Ramnath Kovind has greeted the civil servants on the occasion of Civil Services Day. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has greeted the civil servants on the occasion. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has wished all the civil servants on the occasion of Civil Services Day. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar has extended his greetings to all the civil servants on Civil Services Day who have played a pioneering role in nation building and continue to work hard. Minister of State for Prime Minister Office Dr. Jitendra Singh and Cabinet Secretary Rajiv Gauba have greeted the civil servants on the occasion of Civil Services Day. Ram Navami is being celebrated with religious fervour and enthusiasm in different parts of the country today. The festival marks the birth of Lord Ram, the seventh incarnation of Lord Vishnu. President Ramnath Kovind, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have greeted people on the occasion. In his address to the nation last night, the Prime Minister said all must follow right discipline to safeguard everyone against COVID-19.
In IPL cricket, Punjab Kings will take on Sunrisers Hyderabad at 3:30 p.m. in Chennai. In another match, Kolkata Knight Riders will take on Chennai Super Kings at 7:30 p.m. in Mumbai today. Yesterday, Delhi Capitals beat Mumbai Indians by 6 wickets in Chennai. Chasing 138 runs for victory on a sluggish track, Delhi Capitals fought hard to earn a 6-wicket win against defending champions Mumbai Indians. Delhi Capitals achieved the target of 138 in 19.1 overs for the loss of 4 wickets with the help of 45 by Shikhar Dhawan and Steven Smith's 33. This win also broke Delhi Capitals' 5-game losing streak against Mumbai Indians, with the last defeat coming in the final of IPL 2020. The win also took Delhi to the second spot in the points table.
Now let us take a look at the weather report and forecast for today. National capital Delhi is having a generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The maximum temperature will be around 33 degrees Celsius. The minimum was 18 degrees. Mumbai with partly cloudy sky will see a maximum temperature of around 33 degrees Celsius, rising from a lower level of 26 degrees. Kolkata is having a generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The city temperature will move from a minimum of 27 degrees Celsius to a maximum of around 40 degrees. Chennai is seeing a partly cloudy sky. The upper limit of temperature will be 34 degrees Celsius, while the lower limit was 28 degrees. Srinagar is seeing a generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. The temperature will hover between 10 and 18 degrees Celsius. Jammu is having a generally cloudy sky with light rain. The temperature will rise from a minimum of 17 degrees Celsius to a maximum of around 29 degrees. Leh is seeing a light snow and the upper limit of temperature will be around 10 from minimum of -2 degrees Celsius. Gilgit is having a partly cloudy sky while temperature will move from a minimum of 8 to a maximum of 24 degrees Celsius. The sky in Muzaffarabad is partly cloudy. The temperature will increase from a minimum of 9 degrees Celsius to a maximum of around 18 degrees. Dehradun experiencing rain or thunder showers with strong gusty winds. The upper limit of temperature will be around 33 degrees from minimum 19 degrees. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. ICMR study finds indigenous COVID-19 vaccine Covaxin to be effective against the double mutant strain of the coronavirus. Country registers over 2,95,000 new cases of COVID-19. Over 1,67,000 people recovered in last 24 hours. Over 13 crore vaccine doses administered in the country so far. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says pharma sector is working relentlessly on COVID-19 vaccine. Assam and Uttar Pradesh governments to provide free vaccines to all from the age of 18 to 45 years. Madhya Pradesh government extends curfew till 30th of April to break the chain of COVID-19 infection. All Air India flights between India and UK to remain cancelled from 24th April to 30th of April. Civil Services Day being observed today. Ram Navami being celebrated across the country today. President, Vice President and Prime Minister greet people on the occasion. And in IPL cricket, Punjab Kings to take on Sunrisers Hyderabad and Kolkata Knight Riders to clash with Chennai Super Kings today. And with that, we end the midday news.